Hello fans and friends across the universe and welcome to my YouTube channel From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith, back today with another Fab 4 video. I'm choosing my 4 favourite songs from each of the Beatles' 12 UK studio albums, and today I'm choosing my Fab 4 from the Beatles' 7th UK studio album, Revolver. Revolver is a masterpiece, but again it's an album where I have clear favourites. 3 were written down very quickly and the 4th soon after. And there was a 5th song that then came into the equation, and while it didn't quite make the cut, it was difficult to leave it off, and I'll tell you what that song was at the end of the list. So with that said, here's my Fab 4 from Revolver. I'd like to start my list with She Said, She Said, which is another inspired piece of songwriting from John, and I just love that guitar riff and that clean guitar sound. And of course, Ringo's many choppy and creative drum fills. He just moves around the kit effortlessly, and I think it's some of his best drumming on a Beatles album. And John delivers a superb vocal, especially on the soaring When I Was a Boy, Everything Was Right section. And interestingly, when John sings that, I've always thought that it could be the starting point of John unravelling all of those childhood feelings that he'd suppressed for so long. But that aside, I think it's a magnificent song, one of John's very best Beatles songs. My second choice is an even better Lennon-led composition than the aforementioned She Said, She Said. It is I'm Only Sleeping. It's often been said that Lennon was very keen on a bit of shut-eye, and this was half acid dream, half Lennon lying around and inviting thoughts to come into his mind rather than forcing them. And lyrically, the song is so well written, almost rejoicing in the importance of relaxing. Everybody seems to think I'm lazy. I don't mind. I think they're crazy, running everywhere at such a speed till they find there's no need. And the song is played at this languid pace which suits John's lyrics perfectly. But then it's lit up by George's backwards guitar interjections, especially that backwards guitar part at the end of the song, which is one of the best things, the coolest things on any Beatles album ever. Let's hear it for George. He worked hard on that part. My third choice is Tomorrow Never Knows. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. It's no secret that John had been experimenting with the hallucinogenic powers of LSD. Again, much like I'm Only Sleeping, he was asking us to turn off our conscious minds and relax and let these visions come to us. And I can only imagine that these visions that John may have been having, these chaotic visions, were then being transformed into the overwhelming and powerful music that we hear in this song. Paul had been experimenting with these tape loops, and it was his sound, but certainly John's vision. The drums are hypnotic, the sounds, the rather eerie soundscape that it's given. It's futuristic, it never gets old, it's an incredible piece of work, it's an absolute trip. And special mention has to be given to George Martin because the Beatles very much needed him at this point to piece their ideas together, and I'm so glad he did. My fourth and final choice was placed here deliberately, not because it's my favourite song on Revolver, because it's not, but it's certainly the song that had the most profound effect on me. It's Love You Too. George had been busy reading these Buddhist spiritual texts and decided to enlighten the world with this Eastern wisdom that he'd found. I think I was 15 years old at the time, and I remember hearing this song for the very first time, and I remember being stood on the opposite side of the room to where the stereo was playing, and this song started, and I remember looking over at the stereo and thinking, what is that? And again, the drums are magnificent, that hypnotic groove that it has, this propulsive energy that just takes you away. And the sitar sound is incredible, it flies all over the place, you can't hold on to it even for a second. As George himself sings, each day just goes so fast, I turn around, it's past, you don't get time to hang a sign on me. It is an astonishing recording, and especially I love the change of tempo towards the end of the song, which just carries it away again at such a pace that you're trying to hold on to, but you can't. And special mention this time for Anil Bhagwat, the Indian tabla player. Superb job. So that was my Fab Four from the Beatles' Revolver album. She Said, I'm Only Sleeping, Tomorrow Never Knows, and Love You Too. Now, as for the fifth song that threatened to break into this particular Fab Four, it was And Your Bird Can Sing. That dual guitar interplay between George and Paul is so stylish, and it's such an uplifting tune. I love it dearly, but no, it wasn't quite good enough in my book to oust the brilliant She Said. And as always, I'd love to know your Fab Four, even more so for this particular album, as I know that there are a lot of fans of Eleanor Rigby, Here, There and Everywhere, For No One, Got to Get You Into My Life, and countless others. And as always, I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in for this video, and I'll be back with my Fab Four from the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band very soon. Till then, peace and love. See you next time.